So substance use disorders, by definition, are people who are using substances, alcohol, nicotine, cannabis being three examples, where it's affected their lives in some way. So they have ended up at one point using more than they intended to. They were spending a lot of time getting and using the substance. It was interfering with their relationships and interfering with the normal activities through the day. There's some compulsion in that where they just couldn't stop even if they wanted to. And so it's people that have found recovery, have found a way to abstain from that substance because they wanted to and because they wanted to be more involved in their lives. It's important to recognize that once you have a substance use disorder, it's a chronic disease and it never really goes away. Our brains are really good at remembering how good something felt. They're not so good at remembering how bad something felt. And so things like being around alcohol if you're trying to abstain from alcohol, or being around a place where there might be vaping when you're trying to stop vaping. It's important to think about that. Like if I'm going to be in that situation, just thinking about it ahead of time and coming up with some strategies. So a couple of those involve bringing somebody along who's aware of your goal. And sometimes what it is just, I would like to go into a situation just having a couple of drinks instead of 10. The second thing that we do is think about, like for alcohol, for instance, is just bringing along your own beverages. And so if you have your own Diet Coke, you don't end up getting offered something because your hands are empty. The final thing is just having a way out. So if you're going with your family or you're going with friends or whatever, is think about having a couple of cars there. So that if you get uncomfortable, you're starting to think about drinking or starting to think about breaking that goal you have for yourself, you've got a way out. And I think the final thing is just thinking about, why do I want to go to this event? You know, are you going there to give and be happy with your family? Are you going there to give and be happy with your friends? And if that's the case, then make that your goal and go into it with that. But if you're like uncomfortable, it's okay to say no to things and find something else to do that's going to be more healthy or not as risky for you.